Do you always feel tired and unmotivated despite being in the middle of the day and cannot pay attention to anything because you feel lazy?
What do you say?
If that's you, here are 20 tips to naturally boost your energy without coffee. Yes, without coffee.
But I really need my coffee.
If you do these tips instead, you will no longer need to get the caffeine crash, get some good sleep for once, skip the jitters, and most of all, save money on lattes. So let's get started, shall we? Tip number 1. View sunlight early in the morning. According to Stanford professor and popular podcaster Andy Huberman, viewing sunlight in the early morning hours is one of the absolute best things you can do for sleep, mood, energy, and overall well-being. When you watch the sunlight in a safe way, your internal clock will be adjusted and you will gain energy naturally. Even if there is cloud cover, you should be out for at least 5 minutes to get the benefits. And no, looking out from the window or a car windshield will not get the benefits, unfortunately. Tip number 2. Look up more often. By looking up and staring, your body will automatically make you more alert. In contrast, looking down at your screen will make you more sleepy, and it's not good for posture either. Tip number 3. Longer inhales, shorter exhales. By controlling your breathing, you have the power to influence your autonomic nervous system and thus your energy levels. Inhale longer and exhale shorter if you want more energy. If you're very anxious and jittery, exhale way longer than you inhale. Tip number 4. Drink water more often. Whenever you feel the slightest sense of fatigue, it is probably thirst because our brain and body consumes a lot of water. So always have a filled glass at hand and develop the reflex to drink. Tip number 5. Listen to your favorite music. Music is probably the best way to get into the mood. If you have a particular playlist when performing a certain activity, you can associate this playlist with it. You can also listen to relaxing music when it's time to unwind. Tip number 6. Always do meaningful and fun things. If you genuinely think your work is exciting and fun, you will not worry about energy and motivation. Best of all, even if it's boring work, you can still make it more interesting and enjoyable with music, as you heard before, a comfortable place, embracing the initial struggle like muscle burn, etc. By doing all this, you will soon be in the flow state, the most powerful feeling you will have. If you want to learn more about the flow state, check out my previous video right here to learn about the step-by-step checklist that I use to get into flow every day, very fast. Tip number 7. Obsess over learning skills and solving problems. Not only will you feel a sense of mastery and achievement, but you will also be more valuable in your job and business. By caring less about self-improvement and more about skill improvement, you will get energy, money, happy people, and a healthy self as a byproduct. Tip number 8. Turn off notifications and do not mindlessly check. One of the worst things you can do for your energy is to context switch without writing every thought down first. And in general, you want to consolidate notifications to specific checking times while being uninterrupted otherwise. Tip number 9. Be totally present and undistracted. This constant self-talk and distractions saps our energy like a leaking boat. But by turning off distractions and being present, your attention is like a laser beam. To be present, either consciously breathe, stare at a particular point, listen intently, or feel your body. Tip number 10. View physical pain as energy flowing out from you. Because let's be honest, chronic pain and tensions are terrible. Fortunately, in the best-selling book The Untethered Soul, author Michael Singer recommends that you reinterpret pain as energy flowing out from you. This constant burning feeling is okay to have, and the more you feel it, the better. This allows you to relax and let your body heal itself. Personally, I found this to be tremendously helpful when healing my own chronic pains. Tip number 11. Master your emotions. There are 2 ways of gaining control of your emotions that work the best for me. The first one is to visualize the worst thing that can happen and realize you can handle it gracefully. You have nothing to be afraid of afterward. The second one is to see your feelings for what they are, body sensations. For example, when you get angry at a certain tweet, notice the furrowed eyebrows, clenched jaws, fists, faster breathing and louder voice. Once you recognize these are happening to you, you're in a much better position to calm down and control them in real time. Tip number 12. Have a second brain or external reference system. Your brain is only evolved to remember 4 things effectively. Otherwise, you will either remember the latest or the most emotionally stirring. Offloading everything you need to remember to note-taking apps such as Mem, Notion, Evernote, Google Tasks, and many more frees you from overwhelm and mental despair. For more info about creating your second brain, you can check out my book The Barbell System. Tip number 13. Remove must-dos and increase can-dos. Being overwhelmed is not good for energy. Fortunately, only a small fraction of our commitments are essential, while the others are not so. Cut down your commitments and increase options to feel an energy boost and more freedom. Tip number 14 is to clean up something. Because in the same way, removing dust, fixing things, and reorganizing your physical and digital space will give you tons of positive feelings, plus nicer surroundings too. Tip number 15. Surround yourself with the right people. If someone is not making you stronger, they make you weaker. Be with people that inspire you and you can have fun with. Love them back for unbreakable bonds and tons of energy supply. Tip number 16. Be kind to yourself and others. Ultimately, being a constant critic of yourself is taxing. You want to be your best friend instead, loving what you do. And in the same way, you want to be generous to your friends and other people. Not only will you feel a sense of pleasure and bonding, but they will too. Tip number 17. Embrace habits, rules, and guidelines. The more habits you have, the easier your life will be. Even for decisions, make some rules of thumb for yourself and some necessary conditions. Tip number 18 is meditate. For the past 20 years, meditations have been my go-to practice for refueling. If you want a stark energy boost, meditation will give you just that. Tip number 19, get the basics right. Yeah, I know it's basic advice, but it's by far the most important point in this video. Because without this, everything will fall apart. Create the routine and stick to it. And finally, tip number 20. When in doubt, recharge your battery by relaxing. This is why energy management is much more important than time management, because compared to time, energy can be stored. Therefore, if you're afraid of wasting time, see it as an opportunity to store energy for future use. Just relax, let the tension vanish, and refuel. So here you have it, 20 tips to naturally boost your energy without needing this. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe for 1 video per week, like this one. You can also subscribe to my newsletter to get a free ebook, The Ultimate Guide to Total Living, 5 steps for becoming your best self and enjoying life every second. Until next time, have a very nice day.